Welcome back, South Philly Sauce, an Audacy original brought to you by 94 WIP and Jack Daniels, Al Morganti, and Ashlyn Sullivan here with you in the heart of summer. Not a lot of hockey going on right now, but still the Flyers, big time conversation in Philadelphia right now, thanks to Matvey Michkov being here in Philly, kind of his first week as a Philadelphia resident. And I cracked up when we did the interview with him. And he talked about the Phillies, how he can't wait to get to a game, and he would love to see a baseball game. And those Flyers over there at Voorhees, they work fast because 3 days later, I see he's throwing out the first pitch. When he wants something, he's going to get it.
It was hilarious because, I mean, I give him an A for an effort. Doesn't know how to throw a baseball, but I guess we could have expected that. But what I took out of it, Ashlyn, is how much he really wants to be a part of this. I mean, when he came over and he kind of suggested it, because he'd seen first pitches thrown out by hockey players, young hockey players. In the case of in Chicago last year, the kid threw out the first pitch, and he's like, "I want to do that too. I don't care that I never thrown out a pitch before. I don't care that he may not have held a baseball before. I don't
Probably
know."
Not.
Yeah, but he wanted to do it, and he wants so much to be just a huge part of this. And what was really cool, Ashlyn, you were there. He had his teammates in the dugout. Kind of watching or walking around the field. I don't quite understand why they didn't pull him aside and say, "Listen, it's 300 degrees. You can wear shorts. you don't have to look like the golf professional out here." But it was fun. It was a whole lot of fun, and it was and especially fun to see the manager. Topper's a Canadian managing the baseball team, and he was all excited to have Michkov down there. And I kind of think he was lying when he said he could shoot both ways, like right-handed, left-handed, playing ball, hockey, whatever. But I think it's cool that you now have even if he's just a kid and we don't know what's going to happen, that you have somebody that everybody's eyes are trained on, including the other athletes in the city.
Oh, big time. I mean, they showed the videos of all the Phillies coming up to him. Like I saw Brandon Marsh give him a hug, and you could tell they didn't really know what to say to each other. A lot of waving going on, but I remember last summer, I went to batting practice with the Phillies when a couple Flyers wanted to participate. It was Konechny and Sanheim, and Topper he could not stop talking to them about Canada and hockey. It is clear he's a big time hockey guy. He's told us that he watches the Flyers all the time. It's very cool to see, especially I feel like this year, kind of everyone coming together lately.
Yeah, it is. And he's had a big part in it. And they haven't tried to tap the brakes on it at all. I don't think. I mean, every picture they've taken on billboards, he's with other players, which is, I guess, understandable. If it was me, I would have just hit him. but I can see where it's like you're one of the group in the locker room. You're one of the big pieces of it. But I think they realize. I don't think there's that. How sometimes there's a tug of war between the hockey side and the PR side or the publicity side or whatever, or the business side, let's put it that way. Yeah. I don't get that here. I think it's pretty uniform that you need us and we need you. And this is for the benefit for all of us. And I think that goes into the locker room too, when you have players that are willing to talk about them, actually have fun talking about them, and really are excited to have them around.
I mean, it helps everyone. There's no reason for it to be a tug of war when it's very clear this is only driving ticket sales. This is only helping the Flyers organization. I mean, how many shows were we on last year? We said, man, they just really need a star. Once they get a star, they're cooking, and here's the star. So why would you not capitalize on it?
Yeah, like all right, I covered the team forever, but I've been a season ticket holder since the 80s. And the way I do it is, I don't make a lot of money. So I keep a certain amount of tickets for my family, and we sell the rest or share the rest, kind of a group. Yeah. And I'll tell you, for the past 5 to 10 years, it hasn't been always easy to say, do you want 10 tickets to this season? It's like, nah, I'll pass on that. Well, it's only the beginning of August here, and mine are gone. And I've had to turn people away and say, look, I sold those 10 tickets. There's none. Sorry. 5 years ago, when we were doing this.
2 years ago. I know, because I reap the benefits of your free tickets here.
They're all gone this year. They're all spoken for already. And that's a good sign.
It really is. And yeah, we talked to Jonesy and Danny Breer and talking to Flyers business execs. I mean, they are cooking right now, and as they should be. And I think they were already progressing. I talked to someone in ticket sales at the end of last season, and they were doing really well on their season renewals. And I think people appreciated and understood how hard the team fought and wanted to come back. There were very few people that had season tickets last year that didn't renew them for this upcoming year. And then when Michkov came, I think they got the boat of all the new tickets.
Yeah, selfishly, I'm really happy they didn't get Michkov till the prices were already set.
Exactly. There you go. It's been so needed. It's been so cool to see. I've loved just what he's posting on social media. You can tell he's really trying, like he's trying to make this a home. And I love that the teammates are there with him. I'm curious how these conversations are going, but you see some comments, and I understand the hesitation from fans of how is this going to work? I mean, this kid is in a brand new country, not speaking the language. What if he goes home? To me, it seems like he's having so much fun, and that's not even an option.
He is not going home. He couldn't wait to get over here. His family's, his mom's coming over, his little brother's coming over. So, I mean, he's not going back there. Their goaltender that went back, was for whatever reason wanted to go back. And, it's a whole different situation. This kid's going to be on the big team. He's going to be a big part of the big team. Mm-hmm. And he's been, like, you've seen him, the video of him this whole past year with Flyers jersey on, working out. He couldn't wait to get over here. So there's zero risk that he's going anywhere. He's right here and probably for a really long time. And it should make for I'm just upset that they're starting the season out west. I mean, I
wish it was home.
People just wanted to see him right away.
Like a home Rangers game. That'd be cool. Maybe we can do it. Not an option.
Ovechkin coming in early. Imagine you're him and you're playing Ovechkin. That's just a great story.
And I think I encourage people, the Flyers just put out Friday morning, they put out a one-on-one with Michkov, just first person. And I like how they did it because they didn't translate it. It was just him speaking Russian. And then you could read in the italics what he was saying. And I liked it because it was just his true form of what he was saying. And he talked about how the dream of playing in the NHL and how that's always driven him. And he put it into perspective. He's like, I don't think you guys understand when you make it to the NHL, what an accomplishment this is. And that kind of cleared any doubts I had of, this guy has worked his entire life to be here.
Yeah. And he's going to be a big part of this, Ashlyn. I mean, whatever success they have, they're going to start the season at a net loss in goal compared to last year, but a net plus in terms of offense with him. And he's going to make a big, big difference if it all works out, even if it isn't. I don't know what would you expect I'm expecting a guy that's going to score 55 to 65 points. Mm-hmm. But more importantly, Ashlyn, I'm looking at what did we talk about all last year? If there was one element, like if this had worked, you could have got another point out of this game. It's a power play.
Yeah.
So, and if you just plug him in, he should be a plug and play on the power play. I don't know where. I don't think the system will change dramatically. But I think the guy with the most pressure now is going to be Rocky Thompson on the power play, the coach. Because if this doesn't work, if this is the same power play, powerless play, you got a real issue there. But I don't think that'll be the case. I looked at it as purely a case of mostly a case of they just don't have that high-end talent. And this is the high-end talent that they're going to have to mix and match on who's going to play the bumper, who's going to do this, who's going to do that. But most good power plays, a couple of guys are in the stationary spots, but everybody else moves around. I think he's going to be a freelancer that's going to make everything go.
Yeah, and I agree with you that, there's already so much pressure on Rocky Thompson to get this right. And they tried so many combinations last season. None of them worked. If you can't plug and play this guy and it not be successful, I don't know what you do at this point.
Well, then you move on. It's got to be a big deal. And he's got to be happy as heck to have this, to have a finisher on a power play. And now as Morgan Frost can be part, we'll see what happens when they come in, how they run it. Probably pretty standard setup on their power play. I don't think it'd be dramatically different. If you're thinking, oh, this kid's going to be, it's going to be like lacrosse. We're going to put him behind the net. He's going to score Michigans all the time. That's nuts. He may score. He may try it occasionally, but I don't think they certainly aren't going to have a Michkov setup that's different than a standard, basically NHL power play.
George is very excited about Michkov. Yet again, he strikes again. We've gone a couple episodes without him making an appearance, and it was too long. Please.
Don't blame him. It's hot out. He's inside. He's all, it's
Someone must
I feel bad for Michkov coming over and like it's 300 degrees here.
Heat wave. Please hold. Closing door.
And that dog knows exactly when to hit the certain notes every single episode. I've got two outside, quiet as heck.
Yeah, because they're outside. George will be outside soon. All right, I got one more question for you because I'm seeing a lot of expectations for Michkov. When he came over, I thought, oh, he's top line. I just assumed that. But I'm seeing more of them saying that he's second line.
I think he'll be second line to start. But I think, Ashlyn, we just mentioned the power play. That is where, look, if you're looking at this kid to possibly win a Rookie of the Year, a Calder, it's going to be his points with the extra man. If he can get 15 points there, 16, whatever he can get there, that's what'll be the difference. I think he'll have some time. We'll see what works. But I think just out of the gate, I would think you're looking at a guy that's going to play 15 to 17 minutes, let's say, 14, 18, whatever. And then as it goes along and gets more comfortable, I do think, I said they didn't tap the brakes before, but I don't think you want to, just right out of the chute, like, is he playing all this time, getting all this? No, I think there is some, no matter how good you are, there's still some earn your time stuff that has to be a part of going to the NHL.
So who do you think you pair him with then?
I was thinking, I would with Frost. That to me is what, and Couturier, we'll see what happens. He's healthy again. But when you're just looking at speed, do things quickly, get into the zone, like that, I think is where they can be the most creative. And I think what you're going to be hearing a lot is from Torts. I don't have a first line, a second line. You guys name lines however you want. That's where I think you're going to be real early in this process.
Yeah, I agree. And I think, if anything, that's going to help Morgan Frost so much to have someone like that. And Morgan Frost is a guy, you're at the point where you need him to step up this season, or I don't know what you do with him in the future.
No, Morgan Frost, this Michkov is, he's basically he's a lottery ticket for Frost. He's basically, you run the Russian lottery. If Michkov is that good and you're there, your numbers should improve dramatically. Going in. So we've said it before that it's all right there for him. Well, now it's right there plus for him. So it's all ready to be had. It's custom made for success now at that centerman position.
Yeah, and similar to Rocky Thompson, if Morgan Frost can't succeed in the system with a line mate like Michkov, I think you're at the point as well where we got to move forward. Because the last thing I think you need when Michkov is so important in this organization, I get you don't want to put it all on him, but you can't pair him with someone who isn't the same caliber. No,
you've got to be able to, you want to use the creativity. You want to be that has to be to back other teams off to have that third in the third period late in the game. All right, get these guys on the ice. Let's see what happens. And that's what you want to happen. And 3-on-3, that to me is really exciting possibilities.
Yeah. Right. And think of all the overtime games we had last year where they had a chance and they lost those overtime games. And that's what drives you nuts when you think at the end of last season, the difference a couple points makes is we were all fired up that they were making these overtime games. Because I know the season before they didn't, but 2 or 3 more overtime wins, maybe Michkov's the difference there.
Yeah, if he's a difference there in the power play, it's just a great plus for everybody. But just going in, the interest in it, the fact that he was there at the Phillies game and all the video everywhere and the manager talking to him and everybody knowing who he was, that's huge. To have a Russian kid come over and everybody in the ballpark knows who this kid is.
Yeah, very rare and exciting stuff for the Flyers. And that's all we got for this episode of South Philly Sauce, brought to you by Audacy, 94 WIP, and Jack Daniels. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week.